Welcome back the Elite Drive Studio, where luxury meets legacy. Today, we dive into one of the most iconic grand tourers of the 90s, the Bentley Continental R. This isn't just a car. It's a rolling statement of power, prestige, and timeless craftsmanship. From its commanding presence to its hand-built interior, the Continental R defined what it meant to be a true gentleman's coupe. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey through the story of a machine that didn't just defy expectations, it redefined Bentley's future. The early 1990s were a defining era for Bentley. After years of being overshadowed by Rolls-Royce, Bentley needed a bold new direction, something that wasn't just a rebadged Rolls. Enter the Bentley Continental R, unveiled at the 1991 Geneva Motor Show. It was Bentley's first standalone model since 1965. No Rolls-Royce twin, no compromises. When it rolled onto the stage, people were stunned. The design was sleek, long, and muscular, a proper British grand tourer with curves that could charm royalty and a presence that screamed authority. It was the most expensive production car in the world at the time, even more costly than the Rolls-Royce models it left behind. This car was a declaration. Bentley was back. Underneath the hood sat a 6.75-liter turbocharged V8, a monster that delivered massive torque. But it wasn't just about numbers. It was about effortless performance. Power that surged quietly. Luxury that didn't shout, but whispered in confidence. The Continental R was also the first Bentley designed entirely using CAD computer-aided design. It was a blend of tradition and innovation, old-school craftsmanship paired with cutting-edge technology. This wasn't a car for everyone. It was a car for the elite who understood what true luxury meant. Let's talk about presence, because the Bentley Continental R had plenty of it. From the front, the wide chrome mesh grille dominated the face, flanked by twin headlights that blended modern design with vintage charm. The bonnet stretched endlessly forward, sculpted with gentle power bulges that hinted at the beast beneath. Its profile was long and low, measuring nearly 5.3 meters, giving it a silhouette that made most cars look small in comparison. The sweeping roofline flowed elegantly into the rear haunches, creating a fastback look rarely seen in luxury coupes of the time. The doors were massive and heavy, opening with a reassuring weight. They weren't just functional, they were ceremonial, opening the gateway to handcrafted excellence inside. At the rear, things remained clean and understated. Simple taillights, a sculpted trunk, and dual exhausts, it didn't need aggressive styling to prove its power. This was British elegance at its finest. Wheels, massive 17-inch alloys in period-correct designs that filled the arches perfectly. The car sat low, confident, and immovable, like it was carved from granite. The paint options were traditional, often deep greens, royal blues, blacks, and silvers, all finished in multiple hand-polished layers. Every inch of the exterior was built to reflect timeless luxury, not fleeting trends. Step inside, and you're no longer in a car. You're in a handcrafted lounge on wheels. The cabin of the Bentley Continental R was built for royalty, or at least those who lived like them. Everything inside was either wrapped in the finest leather, finished in polished wood veneer, or made of solid metal. The dashboard was a work of art. A sweeping wooden fascia, often walnut or burr elm, stretched across the front, inlaid with analog dials that looked like instruments from a luxury yacht. Each one marked with traditional serif fonts and chrome bezels. The steering wheel was thick-rimmed and leather-wrapped, commanding yet comfortable. Behind it, toggle switches and classic buttons offered tactile feedback. No touchscreens here, just pure, analog satisfaction. The seats, enormous, plush, supportive, built not just for driving, but for grand touring across continents. They were fully adjustable, heated, and finished in buttery soft Connelly leather, often color-matched to the exterior paint. The center console featured a gear shifter that felt like it belonged in a private jet. Around it, more wood, more leather, and Bentley-branded buttons that clicked with weighty precision. Every detail was thought out: the smell of the leather, the softness of the carpet, the sound of the door closing. It wasn't just luxury, it was sensory perfection. There was room in the back, too, not just for show. Adults could ride comfortably, wrapped in the same indulgence as the front passengers. In a world full of fast-paced tech and touch-sensitive everything, the Continental R cabin was a place to slow down and appreciate craftsmanship. A moving time capsule that celebrated the art of making things by hand. Under that long bonnet lay a masterpiece of British engineering, Bentley's legendary 6.75-liter turbocharged V8. An engine that had been refined over decades, but with a turbocharged twist that added serious performance to the mix. At launch, it produced around 325 horsepower and a monstrous 450 pound-feet of torque. But more importantly, it delivered that torque early, meaning the car surged forward with almost no effort. 0 to 60, around 6.6 seconds, which was impressive for a car that weighed over 2.4 tons. Top speed, around 150 miles per hour, not bad for what was essentially a rolling palace. The transmission was a smooth shifting 4-speed automatic, tuned for comfort but responsive enough to make the most of that torque. Bentley engineers made sure this car didn't just cruise, it commanded the road. The ride was classic Bentley. Soft, refined, and whisper quiet. But take a sharp turn, and you'd be surprised. The suspension, a self-leveling system with adaptive damping, kept things composed. It wasn't a sports car, but it handled with surprising grace for something so large. Brakes were large ventilated discs, supported by ABS, ensuring stopping power matched the engine's punch. Bentley didn't publish exact horsepower figures for later models, but unofficial reports suggest later versions like the Continental T could push over 400 horsepower. In essence, the Bentley Continental R was about effortless speed, not screaming performance. It moved with grace, not aggression. It reminded you that power doesn't need to shout when it has class. Section 5. Variants and Special Editions 350 words. The Continental R was so successful, Bentley expanded the lineup with several variants. 1. Continental S. Introduced in 1994, it added an intercooler for better performance and more torque, making the already quick coupe even more potent. 2. Continental T. A shorter wheelbase version launched in 1996. More aggressive, more powerful, and more driver-focused. It made up to 420 horsepower and offered tighter handling. It also featured flared arches and sportier interior details. 3. Continental R Mulliner. A special edition with bespoke styling and more aggressive bodywork, including a mesh grille and flared wheel arches. It combined the power of the T with the elegance of the R. 4. Continental SC Sedanka Coupe, a very rare model with a removable roof panel above the front seats, giving it a semi-convertible feel. Only a few dozen were ever made. 5. Coach-built editions. Some lucky clients ordered fully bespoke models from Mulliner Park Ward, featuring custom colors, interiors, and even monogrammed elements. Each version added a new layer to the legacy, showing that even within its niche, the Continental R offered variety, always exclusive, always handcrafted. The Bentley Continental R remained in production until 2003, a remarkable 12-year run. Over that time, only around 1,500 units were built. That makes it a true collector's car today. Its value has steadily risen, especially for clean, well-maintained examples. Enthusiasts recognize it as the car that saved Bentley, the model that re-established it as a maker of exclusive, driver-focused luxury machines. It paved the way for modern Bentleys like the Continental GT. But more than that, it stood for something Bentley never compromised on: tradition, power, and elegance. Today, a good Continental R can cost anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000, depending on mileage and condition. The rarer T and SC models can fetch significantly more, especially with full service history and low miles. But more than the price, it's about the presence. A Continental R turns heads, even next to supercars. Its long hood, wide stance, and quiet elegance still make a statement. And the drive, still smooth, still powerful, still unlike anything else. It's a car that doesn't feel outdated, it feels timeless. The Bentley Continental R isn't just a car. It's a monument to British engineering and craftsmanship, a legacy on wheels. In a world of flashy tech and instant gratification, the Continental R reminds us of a time when luxury meant effort. When cars were made, not assembled. When every stitch, every curve, and every detail told a story. It's the kind of car that whispers rather than shouts. That commands respect, not attention. It was a turning point for Bentley, a symbol of rebirth. And for those lucky enough to experience one, it's more than transportation. It's a celebration of how far you've come. Thanks for joining us here on Wheel Wisdom. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Bentley Continental R, Make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with fellow automotive enthusiasts. We'll be back soon with more legends from the world of luxury cars. Until then, drive with class, speak with style, and live with wisdom.